For the first time since December, the Indiana Hoosiers are going on a 3-game winning streak.
You are Locked On Hoosiers, your daily podcast on the Indiana Hoosiers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome in. It is the Locked On Hoosiers podcast. I'm your man, Jacob Goins. I appreciate you being here, making this your first listen each and every day, putting this into your daily rotation. I appreciate you doing that. And we are a part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code Locked On for $20 off your first ticket purchase. The Indiana Hoosiers travel to play Minnesota tonight, and I believe that for the first time since December, we are going on a 3-game winning streak. That's right. We've won back-to-back games. I think we win this game on the road tonight. I'm going to tell you why here on the show today. We'll look at keys to the game. We'll also take a look at the Big Ten football media days that were announced, and some brand new names and faces going to be there this year, and a lot more than usual will be at media days. So we'll have that for you later on in the show today as well. Hoosiers in Minnesota tonight, taking on the Golden Gophers at Williams Arena in Minneapolis. And doesn't really matter where you look, we are underdogs, but we've pretty much been the underdog in almost every game that we've played. So at that point, you know, you want to start looking at this thing and you say, well, we're underdogs. How do we win, right? How do we win this game? And how do we come in on the road and try to get a 3-game winning streak? Again, the first time that has not happened since late December. Hoosiers are 16-13 overall, 8-10 in conference play. Minnesota, not too bad, 18-11, 9-9 in conference play. But you got to ask yourself, okay, what's Minnesota done as of late? Well, you look at it, they got a couple of wins in early non-conference play. When they came here, remember, we beat them on our home floor. We beat them 74-62. So we've got the ability to beat them. That was a part of a 4-game losing streak, a very streaky team we're dealing with here. That was a 4-game losing streak. They then turned around and had a 3-game winning streak. Then they had back-to-back losses, back-to-back wins, back-to-back losses, and they're coming off a win over Penn State the other night at home, 75-70. So that gives me a little bit more confidence. Yes, they won the game, but we know Penn State's not good. I know we didn't beat them. I know. Before you yell at me, I know we did not beat them, but that does not mean they're a good team. Penn State is still below 500 squad. And you look at what this Minnesota team does as a team. They shoot 47% as a team, not bad. They shoot 70% as a team from the line, okay. And they shoot 36% from 3, okay. Nothing's going to blow you away here. Nothing bad, nothing good. They're just kind of an average shooting team. They have a couple of guys that are going to score. We know that it's Dawson Garcia. We know that we have to find a way to stop him. He scores 17 points a game. He is their go-to guy as a forward, handles the ball a lot. They play through him. They've also got 3 other guys that score in double digits. Christie, Mitchell, and Payne are all in double digits. So they have one guy. And at this point, we've had this conversation before where when a team has a player like this, you see these types of guys all around the Big Ten, the SEC, the Big East, wherever you want to go. A lot of good teams have these. Make somebody else beat you. And I think you've got a good chance to win. We have more of that coming up in a few minutes in the keys to the game. But, man, for the Hoosiers, think about what this would mean. This would mean you're on a roll. You would be actually building momentum for maybe the first time all season, which is crazy to think about because the last time you won 3 in a row was Morehead State, North Alabama, and Kennesaw State. That was coming off the blowout loss to Auburn in Atlanta and the heartbreaking loss against Kansas at home. So after that, you have not had any momentum. This is the first time you've won 2 games in a row since that stretch. You'd win a game, you'd lose. You'd win a game, you'd lose 3. You'd win a game, you'd lose 4. Like, that's just how this season has gone. And I legitimately think that this can happen. I think we can go in here and beat this Minnesota team tonight. They aren't playing for anything super crazy. All it is at this point for a team like them and a team like us is we're playing for seed lines in the Big Ten tournament. Because if you look at the current Big Ten standings, Minnesota sits at 9-9, 6.5 games back. Michigan State sits at 9-9, 6.5 games back. And then there we are at 8-10, sitting 7.5 games back. Our last 2 games are against the 2 teams above us. I think we're good at this point. I think we are hopefully in the clear for not being in that bottom 4 of the Big Ten standings for the Big Ten tournament. And I think if we can avoid that, then I think you have a chance, because then you don't have to play the entire week, right? You don't have to start at the very beginning and run all the way through. But if you can jump up even more, what happens if you beat these last 2 teams? Then if everything stays like it is, which I don't think it will, because look at the standings, man. The second team is Illinois. The second to last team is Maryland. All of those teams in between are separated by less than 6 games. That's what shows you what the Big Ten's been this year. It's been ridiculous. It's been insane. So Indiana's playing for seeding. They're playing for momentum. They're playing for themselves and for each other. Your last road game of the regular season. You don't have to do this anymore, because then you come home and you play Michigan State at home. And I know the road is not treated as well, but you just did it once. You just did it your last game. We can do it again. I don't think Minnesota's all that. I think they're solid. I think they're well coached, but I think we are a better team. And if we can do that, I think we're in good hands. And I think Indiana wins tonight. I really do. I think the Hoosiers win. I think we get on that 3-game winning streak and we continue to build momentum in the month of March. I'm going to keep telling you why. Keys to the game coming up here on Locked On Hoosiers in just a second. Today's episode of Locked On Hoosiers is brought to you by Game Time. Look, you shouldn't have to worry when you buy tickets for your next big event. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater events near you. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their best price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets. Some of my favorite things, the numerous times that I've used the Game Time app, look, it's easy to find tickets. You type in the event, they're right there. It's got all the different zones, got all the different sections. You can see the view from your seat, and you know you're getting a great deal because it's the lowest price guarantee. They even have event cancellation protection and job loss protection. Nobody else is doing it like Game Time. Game Time is the only ticketing app that gives you complete peace of mind with your purchase. You can see the view from your seat before you buy. All-in prices show your total upfront, so you know what you're getting, and you can buy tickets in seconds with just 2 taps. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDON. That's LOCKEDON for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Welcome back to Locked On Hoosiers. Appreciate you being here, making this your go-to listen for Indiana athletics and your first listen each and every day. Reminder, we're free and available wherever you get your podcasts. If you're on YouTube, like the video, subscribe to the channel. It's easy. It takes 2 taps, and it helps us grow, helps you become a part of this wonderful community. Well, let's talk about keys to the game for tonight as Indiana on the road at Minnesota in a game I think we're going to win. I really do. I think we win this game, and I'm going to tell you why. There's numerous things that we have to do on the road tonight. We're going to have to shoot the ball well, and we know it's something we haven't done all season long. That's fine, but guess what? Now's a perfect time to get hot. Now's a perfect time to start. Now is a perfect time to say, hey, let's figure something out and start shooting the ball a little bit better. And I think in this game, you have got to get good guard play. Just look at what this team has done when the guards step up, when Trey Galloway plays well, whether it be shooting the ball or dishing it out with assist, right? Or when Xavier Johnson, like he did against Maryland, comes off the bench and has a good game. That helps this team grow. It helps this team flow better. Think about the games with Anthony Leo or CJ Gunn where they've come in and had explosive nights. Like, it just makes the team better, man. It just makes them better. And so if you can get that tonight, doesn't have to be elite. You don't have to get 50 points out of your guards and no turnovers and 50 assists. You don't have to do anything stupid. Just go in and play good basketball. Play smart, clean basketball. And look, I've loved the confidence of Xavier Johnson with the basketball in his hands as of late. I think it gives the team a little bit more oomph. And I said this earlier, I like him coming off the bench. I know that's crazy, but I like him coming off the bench. Some guys just need that. Some guys need that extra little motivation of, oh, I'm not in the starting lineup. Okay, well, when I come in, let's show you why I should be. And it also gives you a spark. Plus, when you think about it, typically when you bring somebody off the bench, the other team is making subs too. So you're bringing in what was once a starter against the lesser, and I put that in air quotes for those of you on audio, air quotes of lesser players from the other team. You're playing against their subs. So then Xavier Johnson should have the advantage more times than not. And maybe that's what's giving him that edge and allowing him to play a little bit better basketball. I don't care. Whatever the case is, make it happen again, X-Man. Make it happen, because he was running the offense highly efficiently. And I think Trey Galloway is a key piece in all of this. If he can give you 10 points and dish out 5 or 6 assists, yeah, that's exactly what you're looking for. That's exactly what you need to get this thing going in the right direction. And as I've said, on the offensive side, run the offense through your 2 best players, Kel'el Ware and Malik Reneau. Run it through them. Then you have Mackenzie Mbako that can shoot. He's proven he can shoot the 3 ball. He's proven that he can knock it down when you need it. And if you do those things, you've got a good chance to win. Now, you look at Minnesota. They are 16-3 this season at home. They are 9th in the Big Ten at limiting opponents' scoring. They're giving up 71 points a game, and opponents don't shoot a super high percentage against them. But Minnesota is one of the best teams in the country against the spread. Now, I don't know how many of you are into the whole betting line thing. It's become a real popular thing as of late. And Minnesota's favored tonight. They're favored by 5.5. Total is 149.5, and Minnesota's a heavy favorite on the money line. They are really, really good. Basically, is when Vegas says they're going to win by a certain amount, they do it, is basically what that means. And so they like Minnesota. They like them to win by 5.5 tonight. I just think if we play our best game, if we play like we did against Maryland, where they're going to make some shots, we're going to have to let them get some. Sure, they're going to get theirs at times, but hold down, lock down shooters, stay on ball handlers, and don't get beat inside. If you do those things, I think you're going to be just fine. I think you are the better team, at least playing better right now. How about that? I think we are playing better right now than most teams as of the last couple of games. I know it hasn't been a very long window, right? It's been a very short span, but this is some of the best basketball we've played, which is what gives me a little bit more confidence here in going in and winning this game at Minnesota. Now, I think there are some things we have to be concerned with. We mentioned earlier for Minnesota about Garcia, who he plays over 30 minutes a game. He averages 17 points, 6 rebounds, and he shoots 47% from the field, shoots 82% from the line. Not a 3-point threat, I don't think. So, yeah, you just have to find a way to slow him down. And then at that point, find somebody else. Make them find somebody else to come out and beat you in this game. And you look back at the last time these two teams played, when Minnesota came to our house, right, came to Bloomington, it was not a great performance by them. We held them to 62 points. That's what you have to do. That's the defense that we play that holds teams to such low scoring totals, and that's where we thrive. Because we've talked about it all year. We can't get in shootouts. We can't get in runouts. We can't play in the 90s. That's not Indiana basketball this year. It's just not. We held them to 62 points the last time out. Garcia had just 14. Ola Joseph had 12. And you had Payne off the bench with 17. But here's what Indiana did. We had 4 guys and 4 starters in double-digit points. Mbako had 19. You had Ware with 17, Reneau with 16, and Galloway with 10. And you had Anthony Walker come off the bench and give you 9. You only scored 74, but that's all you needed. That's all you needed. You played fine. Shooting-wise, Minnesota shot the ball horribly. We didn't shoot it much better than them, but we also made more threes than them. And we got to the free throw line a little bit more and knocked down a few more. So overall, if we just do our thing, I think we're the better team. I really do. I just think we're the better team now playing on the road, and they should have a decent crowd there tonight. And I think that earlier in the year, we were a little worried about us playing on the road, but we just did it the other day. Now, was the turnout what we thought it would be? Not necessarily. I was hoping it'd be a little bit more, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. And look, playing on the road's playing on the road. Whether there's 1 fan or 100,000 fans, it's still an opposing gym. You've traveled. You're doing all that mess. And Indiana won the game. So I think keys tonight, if we shoot well and run the offense through the guys we're supposed to, Kel'el, Ware, Malik, Reneau, do not turn it over. Do not turn the ball over. If we start turning it over and handing it off like we did against Maryland early, we've got a problem, and we may be in trouble here. But I think if we can force some turnovers, one and dones on Minnesota, grab the rebound. We got out-rebounded by this team last time we played them. So if we can win the rebounding battle and push the basketball, I like our chances here. I really do. I like our chances. I think we are playing for more than just this game, because there's a lot of rumblings right now going on the backside about the future of Mike Woodson. And you better believe he's coaching. He might be coaching for his job. I'm not saying he's going to lose it if they lose tonight. I'm just saying down the stretch, he has something he needs to prove. And whether he gets a chance in that 4th year or not, look, I don't know. I've heard a lot of things, but I think he is feeling the pressure right now. And maybe that's what the team's feeling too, and they've decided to get it going and turn it on as of late. Either way, I think we win. Indiana at Minnesota tonight. It is going to be a good one, I think. And I think it's going to come down to the wire. It's a later game. It's a late tip-off, man, so be sure you get your coffee to stay up and watch this one. We'll have a preview or a reaction episode go up for you on YouTube and on audio version as well, so be sure that you tune in for that. Well, coming up, final segment on Locked On Hoosiers, we'll take a look at the football side of things. Big Ten Media Days was announced, and the days and the coaches, who all's going to be there. It's going to be a new look media day, but that's always the unofficial start, unofficial kickoff, if you will, to the college football season. We'll look at that coming up in just a second here on Locked On Hoosiers. Today's episode of Locked On Hoosiers is brought to you by eBay Motors. Passion, drive, and patience. What brings home the winning trophy is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. From superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has got you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay's Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to turn your car into the MVP and bring home that win. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit only available to U.S. customers. Final segment here on Locked On Hoosiers. Appreciate you being here. Having a lot of fun on this Wednesday edition of the show. Flipping over to football for a second. Big Ten Media Days 2024 has been announced, and it's going to be wild, man. It's going to be really, really crazy because there are going to be so many different new faces in the building and around the venue for this event. And it's not just because of the new teams coming in. You've got a ton of coaching changes going on around the Big Ten as well, including right here in Bloomington. We've got a new head coach coming in that's going to be representing the school for the first time at Media Day. And I love Media Day. I really, really do. I think it is a lot of fun. It's that unofficial kickoff to the football season. And it says here, the Big Ten Conference announced the dates for its annual football media days. The event will be held from Tuesday, July 23rd through Thursday, July 25th at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. So that's exciting. And it says here that it's been there since 2021, which we know that. And look, you're going to have so many different storylines here, so many different things to discuss. The future of college football is always a big discussion at these types of events, whether it be Big Ten media days, SEC media days, the Big 12 media days, Pac-12, if that even exists anymore. But you got to remember, this will be the first year that Oregon, UCLA, USC, and Washington will all be a part of the newest Big Ten media days, an 18-team conference, and they had to move it up an extra day. It used to just be 2 days for this event, and now they had to make it 3. There's no schedules, but you know that you are going to have so many different coaches. Brett Bielema will be there from Illinois. You'll have David Braun from Northwestern, Ryan Day from Ohio State. You'll have Ryan Walters from Purdue. You'll have Greg Schiano from Rutgers, and you'll have Luke Fickell from Wisconsin. All of those will be on Tuesday. All right, then on Wednesday, July 24th, you'll have Kirk Ferentz from Iowa, Jonathan Smith from Michigan State, Matt Rule at Nebraska, James Franklin from Penn State, which the fact that he's still there kind of blows my mind, but that's okay. Then you have Deshaun Foster from UCLA and Lincoln Riley from USC, all of that on Wednesday. So look, Lincoln Riley's a big-time name, and he brings that up already. Like, he makes that day must-see television, man, because that guy, he's a hoot. There's no doubt about that. And then on Thursday, July 25th is when our guy will be going. Head coach Curt Cignetti for the Indiana Hoosiers will be there on Thursday, July 25th. We have Mike Loxley from Maryland, Sharon Moore from Michigan. Remember, no Harbaugh. He's gone. You'll have PJ Fleck from Minnesota, Dan Lanning from Oregon, and the new Washington head coach, Jed Fish. Of course, Kalen DeBoer left to go be the new head coach at Alabama. So lots of big names in there, man. Dan Lanning. You've got our guy, Curt Cignetti, Lincoln Riley, James Franklin, Matt Rule. You have Greg Schiano, Ryan Day. There's some fun going to be had in these 3 days. And look, they talk about so many things, right? They talk about the biggest problems around the sport. They talk about last season. They get the fans excited for the upcoming year, what they saw during the spring, the transfer portal windows. I'm sure people will have complaints about what that looks like, and rightfully so. You're going to talk about summer workouts, and you're going to preview the fall, because with this being so late in July, the fall practice is going to be starting within a couple of weeks. And so you get a chance to ask a lot of questions about the roster, about the coaching staff, and so many changes that we've seen, especially here in Indiana, right? Where we just don't know a whole lot about what it's going to look like. We know about Cignetti, sure. We know what he did and his staff did at James Madison, but I mean, we don't know them. We don't know what they're going to do here. And that's exciting in this situation, because you get to start asking a lot of those questions. And whether they give you real answers or not, I don't know. It depends on the coach, but it's exciting. I love this type of stuff. This is the stuff I live for. I attend these things. I go to these things. I love it. And we'll be covering it right here on Locked On Hoosiers come July. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Wanted to go over that with you. Big Ten Media Days will be in Indianapolis. That will be July. It is Tuesday, July 23rd through Thursday, July 25th, and the Hoosiers will go on that final day with new head coach Curt Cignetti on Thursday, July 25th. Well, that's going to do it for today's episode of Locked On Hoosiers. I appreciate you being here, making this your first listen each and every day. If you're on audio, thank you so much. Turn on notifications there so you never miss a new episode. If you're on the video version, like it, subscribe to our channel. We keep growing. We're going towards 1,900 subscribers. So become a part of the craziness here and a lot of fun that we have each and every day. Hoosiers taking on Minnesota tonight. We'll have a reaction episode for you on audio and video as well. That will be up late tonight, early tomorrow. We'll see how it goes tonight with the game. It's a late tip. If they blow whistles all the time, we may not get done until 2 o'clock in the morning. Who knows, right? So just stick around and make sure you're tuning into Locked On Hoosiers. So we'll have all of that for you right here on the channel. Until tomorrow, Hoosier fans, stay safe, and I'll talk to you later.